Alright. I'd apologize for us starting a little bit late, but we'll get into that story as I let some cutscenes and what have you play. For now, welcome back to the Coinflip run of Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, Part 2 of Countries and Kings. Gonna try to knock out probably like maybe 2 stages tonight, depending on how lucky I get with said coin flips. But in case you haven't been here before, and I'm actually going to lower the audio here for a second for the game. That'll work. Actually, I should lower it on my end before the other end. Well, that'll work. So the way the coin flip works is there are certain characters that will always be allowed to be used. Queen Valencia, in the case of Part 2, is going to be a quote-unquote mandatory character, same as Micaiah was in Part 1. But when a new character comes up, i.e. one that I have not used at any point in this playthrough at all, so if anybody from Part 1 came up in this, they won't, but if they did, then any that I picked up from Part 1 that I was allowed to use, I can use. Any that I picked up from Part 1 that I'm not allowed to use, I still am not allowed to use those. But if a new character comes up, I will post in chat this command, Coinflip, and it will come up on either heads or tails. Now, at the very start of the project, I decided automatically, rather than calling what I was going to get, I was just instead going to pick one of the 2 sides of the coin, and we'd be going with that for the rest of the project. So I decided to go with tails. So if the coin comes up tails, whoever we're referring to... Wow, he looks really weird in that shot right there. That's not his portrait for this game, but he looks really funny there. I think it's the hair. It might just be the color scheme. Either way, if it came up tails, or if it comes up tails, then I'm allowed to use that character. If it comes up heads, the one I did not call, then I'm not allowed to use that character, which means they cannot fight in battle. The only time that they are allowed to use is if they are forced onto the stage, either before you get the convoy or after, if they force you to use them. If they're forced to do a certain requirement, like arriving at a certain point or seizing at a certain point, then they're allowed to do that. But if they are in the stage for that reason, then they're just going to get relegated to cheerleader duty, which is a nice way of saying they'll be put in the corner, unallowed to actually do anything until, whatever requirement is forced upon them happens. So that being said, this can make the run very easy or very hard. Now, in Part 1, we controlled what they're talking about now, the rebel forces of Dayan. If you're caring about the story for this playthrough, I would suggest looking elsewhere because it would extend this playthrough even farther than I already would. Because potentially I could get not being allowed to use any characters, which is kind of what happened in Part 1. I still have that list on my computer, so when we get to the point where the characters start reconvening together, I will still have that available. But for now, we're going to go with just like a brand new thing. When I get to the part where they start converging together, I'll probably just keep on screen the units that I'm allowed to have, and not the ones that I'm not. Because as of right now, that list is larger of the one that I'm not allowed to have. However, there are certain points in Chapter 2, because Micaiah is in every stage in Chapter 1, there are certain points in Chapter 2 where Alencia is not part of the stage, much like the second level. So, should that come up where I don't have a forced required character, and I actually do roll, in the case of the one I'm thinking of, which is Braum, Nephany, and Heather, if either A, I don't roll tails on any of those 3, which is possible, then I'm allowed to pick one character that I can use for the stage, because otherwise I literally cannot beat the stage. There's nothing I can do with no characters. Or if it gives me a character that cannot possibly damage the boss in any way, which in that case would be Heather because of her knives. They don't do enough damage to the shield units because knives are weak. So if I only get Heather in that stage, or if I don't get anybody in that stage, then I'm allowed to pick one character. But only one character. That being said, if you do care about the story, we'll give you a very, very quick rundown. Story is a continuation of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance featured this country that we're in, Crimea, right now, getting taken over by Dan, that was led by King Ashnard, who was the Mad King. A mercenary named Ike found Queen Alencia having ran from her castle and lost all of her family, but had to retreat from the castle. And Ike basically formed not formed a mercenary group, his father formed it, and then his father was killed, so he kind of unofficially took over. But Ike was tasked with the idea of bringing Alencia to the Benyon Empire, who was then able to give them more forces, and basically the long story short is, through Ike's mercenary group getting larger and larger, eventually him taking control of an army, they were able to reclaim Crimea and kill Ashnard. In this game, in part 1, we see kind of the reconstruction of Dayan, because after Dayan was defeated, they were taken over by Benyon, because Crimea didn't really have the resources to rule them because they're not a very large country and had just been through, you know, a pretty bad war, and Benyon had just, like, lent a little bit of resources, wasn't, you know, the country that was getting burnt to the ground or attacked or anything like that, and so they ended up taking over with some dictators, where the short version of the story is there's basically, like, the Apostle and the Empress, who is the good guys, and then you have the bishops that are the bad guys, and so the bishops were basically the ones taking over. And so in part 1, Dayan reclaimed its independence through the Dawn Brigade, which was kind of like Ike's group of mercenaries. That was almost like Robin Hood-esque, would, you know, try to help out the poor, and eventually created an army large enough, or at least a group large enough, to be able to reclaim Dayan. So now we are a little bit farther along. I think it's like a couple months. I wasn't paying that much attention. It's a couple months after Dayan's reclaimed its independence, and so now Crimea is starting to get a little bit worried that Benyon doesn't have full control over them, because last time Dayan had its own control, well, things didn't go very well. And it's also the king now, the proper king of Dayan, is King Ashnard's son, Peleus, which they're obviously freaked out about, but for those of us that already know how Peleus is, he's absolutely nothing like his father. He's very quiet, meek, and shy, and not power-hungry in the least, whereas Ashnard was pretty much the opposite of that. So now Alencia is having to deal with basically all of these aristocrats being annoying and obnoxious and not knowing what they're talking about. So she leaves for a ride on her Pegasus Knight, and thus we are here. So let's skip the rest of this and go straight to the fight. Basically, this is one of her friends, Marcia, and she sees some friends that she knew from the events of Path of Radiance getting harassed by some Dragon Knights. So now we gotta go and kill them. So since Alencia is already required, we're just gonna move straight to Marcia and see if she will be on the list of rejects or usable characters. Thankfully, she is on the list of usable characters, which is a good start right out of the gate. I'm very much in approval of that. So the next question is, Neolucci, will you be allowed into the flock, fittingly enough? If I could spell correctly, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? The answer may not surprise you. The answer is no. Which I'm kind of okay with. I don't really care for the Laguz units. And lastly, Leanne, the Heron Princess. I apologize if this command is annoying, but since we've got like a myriad of new characters, you know, that was just almost bound to happen pretty much. Oh right, I'm gonna have to get rid of Twitch chat for that so you guys can actually see it. There we go, much better. So, let's hop into things. Now, if a character, again, like this kind of gets put into a stage where they're not allowed, but they are just automatically starting the stage, they are allowed to trade over any items they start with to other characters. Like the Vulnerary, the Concoction, I can trade those over. I just can't use the characters. So I got pretty lucky in the fact that I got 2 characters for this stage. This is a pretty simple stage, in all honesty. The idea is you basically only can truly lose. I mean, you can lose if, like, if any of your characters dies, but what's more than likely going to happen is, since they don't even attack Leanne, is the Draconites will attempt to capture Leanne the Heron and then go off screen with her. If they go off screen, then you lose. So if you've got only 1 character, this can be kind of hard. In fact, I think I might have just lost right there. Nope, they could have gone up and off the screen, but they didn't for some reason. So that's good. Because now I can just go and do this. And I am still allowed to move characters around that I'm not allowed to use to prevent them from dying, because I do want to try to keep every character alive. So that is allowed. And now, if you've ever played this game before, meet the character that is pretty much single-handedly responsible for actually clearing the stage, because otherwise you're pretty much dead meat. Alright. The moment of truth. I would really, really, really like to see Har be playable for me. Nope. Of course not. Anybody that has never played this game before, if you play this game on easy, use Har. He is an absolute freak in terms of how good he is. I am still going to recruit him, but I'm not going to be allowed to use him. How long is he stunned for? Oh, just 1 turn. Let's go ahead and get rid of that guy then. Oh, right, I just was thinking I was going to go move Har, because... Right, he's another unit right now, so I can't actually touch him. Yeah, I may not actually be able to recruit Har here. So I might have to start over, because I think I need Har to recruit somebody else later. That's another reason that recruiting the characters is allowed, is sometimes you need 1 character recruited in order to recruit a 2nd character. So pretty much the only hope here is that I get stunned. There we go. So he at least can't move for a turn, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do anything. Oh, he just up and leaves. Okay, well, in that case, we're resetting. I didn't realize he ever did that, mostly because, you know, you usually just recruit him instantly. Alright, so let's skip all the pleasantries, just go straight to the fight. Okay. Nine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'd rather just wait. I'm gonna try to stay near the left side instead of the right this time. Unfortunately, they just kind of managed to pick Leanne up and carry her off because I've only got 2 people attacking instead of 3. Because when you get surrounded by a bunch of them like this, pretty much your best option is just, when you're only dealing with 2 people, is like you'll probably just knock whoever it is out, which I can't even do here apparently. But your best strategy would be to knock one out, and then after that, just another one would pick it up, and it would just be rinse, lather, repeat. Yeah, I'm gonna have to heal Marcia next round, because otherwise she's not gonna survive. See if I can at least prevent her from getting captured instantly. In case anybody's curious, by the way, this playthrough is being done on normal. Is on normal difficulty. Mostly because I would never dare try this on hard. I've never even beaten the game on hard. This is being done on a Wii U. It is the proper disc, but it is being done on the Wii U instead of the Wii. But the reason I mention that, I should probably kill this guy, is since I've usually only played it on the Wii, I actually don't have hard mode even unlocked. You unlock hard by beating normal, or beating the game on normal. So that's one reason that we're doing this here, is to unlock hard mode. And who knows, maybe at some point I'll actually try to beat the game on hard, like proper. I really don't want to deal with this boss, but he may not give me a choice. In fact, I think now I'm pretty much going to get surrounded by all the Draco Knights, so I might have actually just lost. Yeah, actually I did lose. There's nothing I can do now. Because I can't heal Marcy, I have Marcy attack, and use Marcy to recruit Harl in the same turn. That's 3 separate actions. So I'm not going to be able to do that either. This is actually going to be really hard for just this fight in particular. Because when I was thinking about like what stages were going to be rough in part 2, I figured the end game was, and I figured depending on how bad the roll was for the second stage with Braum and Nephany, that could be really hard. If I could get both Braum and Nephany, for part 2, if I could get both those characters, by and large I think I would probably be okay with the rest, no matter who I got. Alright, let's just try going straight up this time and not any other direction. See if I stay like really high near the top, maybe at least the boss won't come after me. And then try to just slowly maneuver back to the left. Or the really far right, sure, that works too. If by the left you meant the exact opposite of left, then perfect. Oh, he might have just got me again here, because he's just going to capture it and... Nope. He didn't fly off the map. I thought he was going to. I thought he had enough movement to do that, but I guess not. Yeah, see right there, that'd be an example of like just something out of my control as you just decided to attack Nalucci. And I think I'm about to have Marcia die right here. Yeah. Oh no. She survived, but unfortunately that's the end of the game because he's not gonna fly off the map? Okay. Can they only fly like the north-south directions? Actually, that was dumb. I should have had Alencia attacks. Now Marcia needs to heal. Yeah, I just screwed it again, didn't I? Good lord, this is gonna be rough. Because even if I could somehow get her back there, I'd have to get Har. Because the difficulty is I can't even move Leanne. After she gets dropped by an enemy that was carrying her, then she doesn't have any movement. She loses her movement for that round. So, because I can't keep her perfectly cornered, each time that I kill a Draco Knight and another one picks her up, it basically means that the Draco Knight is moving her and there's no way to move her back. Alright, let's try left then. Left and slightly down. Let's try that. I know the one on the left can get her, but if they move her left, it's going to be a little bit easier than if they move her right. Nope, that didn't work. Alright, so what direction have I not tried? I think I've tried all 4 compass directions. Tried left. Going down would be suicide, as we just saw. Tried up. I tried right. Yes, I've tried every direction. This is going to be... I might just have to rely on criticals, which is not going to be fun. Alright, I get a better idea. First thing we'll do is battle save. Mostly so we don't have to keep watching those cutscenes over and over. Okay, yeah. Let's try this. Let's try moving her last instead of first. That seemed to be like the best way to go. Honestly, was going right. But Marcia has to survive. She can't keep getting hit like that. No, not that. Which is weird, because she was like the first couple rounds, she dodged pretty much everything with no problem. Now she's just getting hit over and over. That's the RNG for you. Rarely helpful and always annoying. Actually, you know what might be a better idea that I didn't even think about doing? No, not that. Let's try this. The Javelin's weaker than the Steel Lance, but because it's a ranged weapon, the Dragon Knights are going to be less likely to attack somebody that can counterattack if they have the choice. Yeah, so they'll go for other players, usually. Meaning either a Alencia or an Alucci. Yeah, I can't kill him anyway, no matter what I do, so... I might as well just keep in line with that strategy. I might be able to do something here. Maybe. That guy won't come after me, but he might. Yeah, and the clouds are gonna move, so I don't get that accuracy. Or, the accuracy debuff on them. Oh, she does have a heal staff. Okay, that might be the way then. That might be the way to do it. Oh, see, now here's the issue. I could either do that, or I could take... No, actually, that's probably the best way to go. Is heal her to keep her alive, because otherwise she's probably not going to make it. Drop Leanne off behind her. And try to block the way as best I can. Which I know won't matter, they're just gonna, yeah, fly around like that. I was going to say at least I get my double attack back, and then she started missing with 92% over and over. She did it 3 times right there. Why does she keep missing? That's ridiculous. I've never seen a Pegasus Knight miss that much. I'm gonna check her accuracy next round, see what it is. At least the Lindsay took out those guys, though. .78. She missed 4 times out of 8 with 78%. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Maybe they can only fly off into a certain direction. That's got to be my hope here, or else he's got it. Nope. He didn't go that way, for whatever reason. My god. This accuracy thing is killing me. Again, I am allowed to use a character if it's something that can like keep another character alive in this sense, because otherwise we may not be able to actually beat the chapter. And she can't even damage that guy at all, so that's bad. It's because that stupid slim sword that she starts with. I don't know why they give her that. When she gets a median, she's actually not horrible with it, but with the slim sword, yeah. It's literally weaker than an iron sword, so not a very good choice there. Alright, there. No, I think I'm not going to do that just on the grounds of... Well, no, because he's got a short axe, right? Yeah. So I guess I could try to do this. Yeah, of course it didn't work. Not very well anyway, but she probably won't be targeted with short axe. Oh no, still gonna go after her. We underestimated them. Not really. Of course, if I'd had hard playable, he would have just smashed. He does like 23 times 2 to the regular guys and still like 15 or 16 with the steel axe to the boss. I'm pretty sure the only way you can logically defeat the boss is with Har. Given enough time, you could probably beat him with Marcia or with Neolucci, but not as quickly as you could with hard. Since you've only got an 8-turn limit, it's going to be much harder that way. Moving swiftly on past that monstrosity. Now comes what I think is going to be a tougher stage than that, honestly. Unless we get all 3 characters, at least 2 of them would be nice. But if I get Nefni and Braum, that would be very helpful. If I could spell, that would also be helpful. Alright, so we're not getting Nefni. We are getting Braum, though. Alright, so that's something. So Braum's going to be soloing this level. I probably should have mentioned I'm using Nefni first, but since Nefni de factos to the leader position based on the flashing blue dot there, technically you get defeat if either of them dies. But she's the de facto leader in this stage, so she was who we were using first. So no for Nefni and a yes for Braum. Would have definitely liked to have both, though. Alright. He'll be useful in later stages, though. That's for a definite certainty that he'll be useful later. Of course. Probably the best spot to put Nefni to keep her out of the way is going to be there. It's just up in that corner. But if she gets attacked and counters, there's not much I can do about it. See if that'll make him run off and heal. I'm not worried about the soldier as much as I am the archer. No, he's just gonna fire away. Alright. I guess it would make sense they'd go after Nefni versus Braum. They probably, yeah, I was supposed to say, based on that, they probably couldn't even damage him, or most units couldn't anyway. Heather just does not care about that mage in the slightest. I'm gonna try to visit as many of these houses as I can. I know this one in the bottom left has a javelin. I think the one that I'm right next to has a steel axe, which is what I really need right now. And also stop those guys from going in there. It is a steel axe, alright, good. I'm probably gonna need that. If for no other reason than I think I may not have enough durability on just the iron axe alone to survive this. I think the other two were like a concoction and a reaper card, so really the steel axe was the best one. I'll go here since that's a ranged weapon. He'll follow me, likely. Unless he decides to go up. No, he's gonna follow. Maybe you should get rid of the poison first? That's just me. Thanks. I might also use Nefni as a convoy in this instance, solely because I might just end up full on items that enemies drop, and I want to keep those healing items for the next few stages. Yeah, I can only hold one more thing. Actually, no, let's go ahead and get this guy out. Like, if he gets that final house, whatever, because again, it's a weapon I can't really use that well right now. Oh, she just up and leaves. Okay. Didn't realize that. So then I actually have to use Nephany then, because I can't reach her otherwise, not quickly enough. Because I've tried going through that, like that wall of the knights that have the mage next to it. I've tried going through that on normal, and with Braum alone, you actually can't because of the mage, because the mage will just slice right through him with the magic, like it's nothing. I guess for clarification, I can show which one's the main. I mean, these guys up here, like even with these two gone, and these three up here won't move at all. But like, if you attack one of these guys, whichever one you attack, the other one moves, and then the mage moves, and he'll kill you if you have just Braum. Because I tried sending Nephany down through this by herself, and then Braum across this way by himself, and you actually can't do it that way. So Braum can't survive this wall right here. He can't get around this wall fast enough to get to Heather before she escapes through here. So Nephany will actually be required for the playthrough, because otherwise I can't get to Heather, and I need Heather for later conversations. Because we are still recruiting all characters, it's just we're not using all characters, or the ones I want to use. Interesting. I'm trying to think what to do about that. I'm almost tempted to, like... I probably can't really do it right now that effectively, but I'm almost tempted to say just have it, like, use an RNG to take a character from the usable list to the unusable list, since I'm stealing one from the unusables. But right now, I need Braum and I need Alencia, so it's not really much of a choice. It would have to be Marcia that I would get rid of. There'd be no way around it. So I think for the meantime, I'll switch Nephany over to green and just figure it out from there. I didn't realize the stage was actually not unbeatable. It could be beaten, you just couldn't get Heather at the same time. In fact, that's what I'll probably do, is I'll probably coin flip for Heather when I actually unlock her, and if it comes up tails, I'll just switch her straight to heads and just say can't use her. I feel like that's more fair anyway. It's just the first person that comes up for tails, just flip them back over to heads and I can't use them. That's interesting. I never would have guessed it was impossible to collect Heather without both these characters. That guy's going to be annoying. Is this mage is going to come and damage me? Yep. I guess that is a sniper, isn't he? No, it's an archer. I don't know why he looked like a sniper. Oh well, he's dead now. For an archer, he did a lot of damage, all things considered, to, like, class 2 units. Like, that's pretty strong. Alright, let's just recruit you straight away. Alright, we got Heather. What is an archer but a sniper of the Middle Ages? It's true. Though let's face it, that archer probably did more damage than Leonardo could ever hope to do. Alright, that actually works out perfectly. Coinflip landed on tails, but since I had to move Nefne from unusable to usable, we'll just automatically put Heather on unusable. We'll just make it a trade-off. Still can't believe you cannot recruit her without both of those characters. That's crazy. In terms of just, like, how quick you do it, you just can't do it. That's ridiculous. And yeah, she just starts with a knife and a dagger. Nothing special. We'll just leave her down there. No, let's start here since that dude spawns it on the left. I know he'll be coming around the mountain when he comes. I think Oma actually is on the mountainside, so that's fitting. Alright, I've left that mage alive for long enough. His service is no longer needed. And if I gotta pick a house to save, I'm gonna pick the one on the left. Of course, Wrath is gonna activate next turn, so we might be okay. If Nefne gets hit, Wrath will activate anyway. Or it could activate twice and she could just hit both times rather than criticaling, but sure, that's fine too. That's a lot less fine though. And I can't lose any characters. I think you are allowed to lose Heather, but I don't know, if you recruit her, it might change the victory condition. I don't know if they actually do that in this game. They probably do. It's probably you can't lose any characters. I'm just still surprised Heather just straight up and leaves the map if you take too long. I didn't even feel like I was going that slow either, at least not for using one character. Though I guess when you're not allowed to use 50% of your team, that can't be too surprising. Let's just start straight from there. That guy's gonna attack her anyway. Here comes the archer. Brahm's gonna be doing not very much. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to do anything with him until Nefne gets all the way around. He can kill these two guys and visit that house, and that's about it. Alright, Mr. Sniper, Archer, Marksman, whatever you're supposed to be. At least it's not the 313 Archer, though. For that, we'll be forever grateful. Or you can miss with 88% accuracy. Sure, why not? Is that going to be the running thing of part 2? Missing with high accuracy? Spectre card that no one will ever use. Not in the right minds anyway. She did not kill that healer last time. That's a bit odd. Alright, you. Welcome to the team. Now to promptly send you in the corner with all the other cows. I mean, what? Nothing? Never mind. I don't find her character annoying. I think I've pretty much always found that character annoying, though. The ones that it's like It's like, if you want to like girls and be a girl, fine, but it's funny to just see her be, like, blatantly sexist as well. Like, she will barely ever speak to a man in this game, and if she does, she really doesn't want to. I'm about to kill myself again. I think I might have just done it. I think I might have just accidentally killed that dude. Dude, stop missing with 80. Like, I've missed with like 80, 88, 85. Not doing well on that tonight. High accuracy is just not having it. Seeing as how the accuracy's been going so far. Alright. Thief's gone, or whatever. What actually is that class called in this game? It used to be a bandit, but it's not anymore. It got changed, I think. I think it might be back to brigand like it was in the really old games. I think it is brigand again. Watch none of them ever show up for the rest of the game, and we'll never know. Alright. Now comes the really fun part of having to have Nephany fly across the stage. As Braum sits there waiting for her to be able to kill the mage before he can actually do any proper damage. Oh, right, that guy's gotta go too. I thought he got killed by Heather, but I guess not. I guess he never went down here. And now he's just running for his life. Have you played Path of Radiance? I have played Path of Radiance. I own it. I am one of the crazy people that have actually unlocked Ashnard on that game. And you do that for the trial maps by playing through the game from start to finish 10 times, and I have done it. So yes, I have in fact played Path of Radiance. I've not done a coin flip run for Path of Radiance. I've used all the characters, but I've never done a coin flip for Path of Radiance. Yeah, I'll just do that. There we go. How's damage work in Path of Radiance? Save... Oh, save me is... I thought you were saying save for me. Is the normal formula of attack minus defense slash resistance and then +1 or -1 based on the weapon triangle? I don't have it in front of me, but yes, I believe that is correct. It should be... it will be... Like, here, let me check an example right here, because I'm pretty sure they run the same in this. So I'm doing 11 damage right now. So Nephany has a strength of 15, and she has a weapon, which is a steel great lance of 14. So 15 and 14 is 29. And it said, what, 11, right? Which means his defense should be about 18. Yeah, 17, but he's got the weapon triangle advantage because I have a lance and he has an axe. So I think it should be the same. It should be your attack on your character... or your strength, or magic, depending on if it's a mage character. So strength and or magic, plus whatever weapon you're using. So either might or magic, depending on if it's a, physical weapon or a magic weapon. And then subtract the defense or resistance of whatever you're fighting, depending on which one you need to subtract. And then add or subtract the weapon triangle if necessary, or the trinity of magic if necessary. This guy, oh, he's just got really high biorhythm. Yeah, I was gonna say, why is his attack chance of hitting him so low? High biorhythm. Gotcha. I'm gonna wait for that to go down and try to go after the other characters here, like the swordsman up here. Actually gonna battle save here and try to kill this guy. think I'll live without it. That being said, probably just try to balance that out a little bit better. A lot of farm games don't. Yeah, a lot of them don't implement the weapon triangle. Usually in the older ones, the weapon triangle is just like it will just raise or lower accuracy depending on if you've got it working for or against you. In fact, oddly enough for this game, I don't think it does it in Path of Radiance, but in this game, in Radiant Dawn, it does. If you play this on hard mode, the weapon triangle just gets taken out, which means axes suddenly become, like, stupid strong. And actually have, you know, halfway decent accuracy. Which, most of the axe users in this game are actually pretty good, which is surprising. So even the axe users in Path of Radiance, most of them aren't that great. Jill from Path of Radiance uses lances in Path of Radiance, but she uses axes here. But, like, in this game, Har is good, Jill is good, Boyd is good, even though he was terrible in Path of Radiance, at least for me he was. Nolan's good. When Ike class changes in this game, he can use axes. He's pretty good. I mean, he's better at swords because, you know, before he class changes, he's gotten Ragnar long before then. Okay, his Bytherm's been at worst for, like, a while now. Nephnies is at normal. But yeah, Trinity of Magic should do the same thing for the +1, -1. Alright, that's not horrible. Played Path of Radiance a long time ago, but never played Radiant Dawn. You should! It's actually, like, really good. I think if Path of Radiance is an easier game to get into, and hopefully if you want to play Path of Radiance again, you still have your copy, because it runs like $140 now, used. Like, I'll check it right now, because I'm curious to see. I check this on occasion. We'll check Amazon to see what the pricing is for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Keeping in mind, I'm talking about used copies right now. Can I see all the options for it? It's actually gone up since I last saw it, if I'm looking at this correctly. Oh, there it is. I don't know why it's so hard to find other stuff. Alright, so right now on Amazon... Yeah, right now on Amazon, a used copy, used acceptable, disc-only, test and loaded, disc has scratches, is $109.29 plus $4 shipping. A copy that is like new is $169.34 with about $14 in shipping, and that's with Amazon Prime, free 2-day shipping, that kind of thing. If you want to buy it new, to use my French, good fucking luck, because a new copy of it right now on Amazon is $270. New. So, I really hope you still have your copy of Path of Radiance, because getting it is going to be a little bit pricey now. Radiant Dawn, however, while expensive, is not going to be as bad. Radiant Dawn, right now the cheapest one on Amazon, and again, there's other places to get it, but the cheapest one on Amazon is $61.15, which is a lot for a game, but by comparison to the ones I just mentioned isn't too bad. And new, it's about $75 with $4 shipping. People say Radiant Dawn's like the best farm game ever. The first one I played was actually Radiant Dawn, not Path of Radiance. I think it is good. To give you an idea of one of the things I love about this, I'm going to turn the attack animations on. Keeping in mind, this game was... Make sure I've got the time right. Like, you've seen the attack animations for Path of Radiance, they've not aged very well. Keep in mind, this game is from early 2007, and this is what the animations look like. Like, they just look infinitely better Like, that looks that looks good now. That, honestly, in my opinion, in terms of, like, the straight-up fighting, that's the best the graphics have ever looked for a Fire Emblem game, ever. And it's probably because they're on a big console like the Wii rather than a handheld. Because, like, you know, the GBA graphics, whenever you see them now, you're just like, oh, those GBA graphics. Like, you could... Any gamer could pick out a GBA graphic anywhere. It's not that hard to find. But, like, even the 3DS ones don't look that good, because they're not on as good of a console. So I think in terms of ease of access, I think Path of Radiance is better. I think if you want, like, a more whole experience, this is a really good one to, This is a really good one to play. If you've played Path of Radiance, except for Largo, the Berserker, every single character that's in Path of Radiance is playable in Radiant Dawn, so that's a plus. The only thing you have to watch out for is, right now I'm playing this on normal, because there's a bit of a translation issue with Fire Emblem Japan to Fire Emblem America. And playing this on normal is actually playing it on hard in Japan. Basically, there's an option in the game to import your save data from Path of Radiance to Radiant Dawn, and you can get, like, different support conversations, and you can actually start out with your characters at a few levels higher than where they are. But because there's no easy, like, Japan version only has normal, hard, and lunatic instead of easy, hard, or easy, normal, hard. So if you try to import any save, or if you try to import a save to your Wii, it will crash your Wii. And the only way to fix that problem is by making sure on your GameCube save data or memory card, there cannot be a single easy mode file on that cartridge. If they're all normal or higher, then you're fine, but if there's one from easy, it will crash it. Even if you don't want to use that file, it will still crash it, so you can't have any easy save data from Path of Radiance on that. Yeah, it's gonna be enough to kill her, so we'll just do this. That being said, I am skipping around a ton of the story for this. So, like, if you're not too bugged about the story, it shouldn't bother you. If you saw part 1, then you've already gotten, like, a gigantic spoiler from the last game, based on one of the characters that was still alive. I'm gonna heal this round. So yeah, I would say, like, as far as overall, this is probably the best one. But there are some other ones I really like. I really like Path of Radiance, like Sacred Stones. I'm probably one of the few people that like Shadow Dragon because it's hard. Because even on normal, Shadow Dragon will make you work for your wins. But I think there's a lot of small tweaks between this game, or between Path of Radiance and this game, that makes it better. The battle saving in this game isn't like a quick save like it is in Path of Radiance, where it's like you can save your game, but if you load up the save, then the save is gone. The mid-chapter save is gone. This one you can battle save and reload it as many times as you want. So if it's like you're in a kind of a precarious position and your turn starts, and you're like, I'm going to battle save in case I mess up, and don't want to have to repeat like 12 turns, then you can do that. So, like, that's a lot better. I don't know why they did it, but the Dragon Knights aren't weak to bows anymore, which was, like, pretty much the only way to easily kill them aside from magic. But, yeah, now their only real weakness is to thunder magic. That's the only thing they take bonus damage to, so the Draco Knights in this game are insanely strong. Well, at least yours are. Also, have fun buying something to eat. I, in fact, had to do that earlier. Alright, what stage is this? I think this is just gonna dump a bunch of units. Well, not a bunch, like 2, I think, that I haven't used yet. No, 3. Yeah, 3. The top 3. Lucia, Leith, and Mordecai. Alright. Let's take a look then. Also, Shobi, thank you for the follow. Enjoy your dancing Bowser. It is quite lovely indeed. Alright. Just gonna do this 3 times in a row. Speaking of 3 times in a row, I might have done it too early then. Oh, alright, we got 1. I guess that's better than nothing. Not much, though. Not gonna lie, not a big fan of Mordecai. Didn't really care for him in Path of Radiance. And still don't really care for him in this game. I used Leith in Path of Radiance a lot. I actually liked using her because she was fast, had good agility, had good strength, good HP. Like, she was a pretty good all-rounder unit, but in this game, not a big fan. That being said, I might as well trade over this now. Those are getting put in the convoy. I don't really think there's any point in awarding experience right now. Not anything big, anyway. Oh wait, what am I doing? I hit him backwards. Yeah, give all. I don't know why I thought I could use Lucy on the stage. No, I can't use her. Yeah, it's just those 3. So Braum, Heather, and Mordecai taking on the world. Problem is, I don't know if Neffy's gonna have enough weapon energy left to be able to get through the stage. She might break both her weapons in this fight. Oh right, they like force a bunch of units on you on this too. Alright, well. I already know what I have to do. The problem is I'm going to have to rotate these characters a lot. This is the first Fog of War map the game puts you in, and the Fog of War maps are really obnoxious. I think in hard mode in this game, I don't remember if it's this one or Path of Radiance, they make some stages Fog of War maps that are not previously. Which is like, yay! That's a lie. I don't think anyone's ever excited to see Fog of War. Oh right, I forgot they had Venom Bows in normal mode. But there's some units that spawn on the start of the stage on the left of here, so I'll have to move them around to make sure that the characters that are there don't just get broadsided by them. Yeah, it's gonna prompt him to go after Mordecai. Oh, you jackass. Just runs off to heal. Let's go and get rid of the halberdiers. lucky that I drew at least one Tails there. If I'd had just Braum, if I'd had just Braum and Nefany, I don't know if I could have defended against everybody here. Now they're going to go back for her now. I wish he'd stop running off the heel like that. I'm not going to give that mage a chance to hit him. That seems like a bad idea. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to double attack the archers and that soldier up there. I don't think they're fast enough right now to be able to get them. We'll just have to pick a target and go. Or they could just start doing that, sure. Nah, they got her. Yep. Maybe I should try flipping it, sending Mordecai or sending Nefany up to the top, because Braum didn't seem like he was having too much trouble there. Even when he got poisoned, he seemed like he was okay. Try playing this a little bit smarter this time. No strength, no speed, of course. Alright, he's dead next turn. Those archers gave me such grief last time, I'm gonna have to get them this time. I forgot how much of a pain they were normal. Like, on easy, they don't do anything, they just can't damage you. The characters that can damage, usually their speed's so low, at least in comparison to your highly leveled characters, that just miss anyway. Here it's like, oh, they can hit your general for 12 damage. It's like, what? They couldn't hit you for 1 damage normally. Battle save and try something here just in case this fails, though. I'd rather have the backup. I had a feeling that might happen. At least she doesn't lose that much health. I think it's just a percentage of your max health, though. No, Archer's gotta die first. You got a torch! Whoop-de-frickin-do. Speaking of mages, there's another one. I think they're all Thunder Mages in here, except for the boss, though. No, I guess it's just a number between 1 and 3, if that's the case. Maybe that's what it was. I don't remember I just remember the poison works in a really weird way this game. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for those reinforcements in the back to show up, because otherwise I'm gonna forget that they're there and they're just gonna kill me. Yep, there they are. Alright, so when do they spawn in? Turn 5? 6. Alright. Nope, I can't go that far. I've never seen a Venom Lance before. That is kind of cool, but not for me. I'm used to seeing the Venom Swords and Venom Axes, but you don't hardly ever see a Venom Lance. Alright, now I think we're actually in a decent spot to get through the rest of the stage. There we go. Alright, by the time we get back over to where we were, I'm sure the poison will be mostly gone. If nothing else, forcing me to use Mordecai will probably just show off exactly how important the Olivey Grass is for me. I used to never use that item, and then whenever I played the stage in Part 1 on normal and had to use Tormod and Yerman Vika for that lower section in one stage, realized, oh hey, that works pretty well there. Ever since then, I'm always like, yeah, you should probably try using it more, but I just don't care for using the Laguz units. Largely, when you play the game, there's never a reliance to, like, hang on to them. And yeah, don't change yet. Do this. A healer! I don't suppose he actually had anything worthwhile. Probably just, yeah, heal staff. Alright. Stab him away. Oh, I also have to take... I just realized the victory condition involves her arriving. Normally it's rout the enemy. I always forget it changes in this one. Likely because you usually kill everything in this area anyway. I think they add like one thief or rogue or whatever you're going to call it in the very bottom right corner. But you have to actively be looking for him because he doesn't actually do anything. You think he'd go around and try to steal your stuff, but no, he doesn't. Oh, no wonder you didn't do anything. He had a longbow. Terrible. In Fire Emblem, in real life, they're actually a pretty good war weapon, but Fire Emblem, no, they will not hit to save their lives. It's pretty bad. I was about to say, don't tell me it just broke, because that would be the worst thing to hear right now. No, it's too much. Oh, he's a killer weapon. Interesting. Here's where the thief is, by the way. He's, like, right there. Ah, I forgot to move Mordecai. Should have healed him at least. Oh well. Speaking of criticals. Alright, I'll take that. Yep, there he is. Rogue level 1, he's got a coin. You have to steal it from him with Heather, though, if you want it. Which seems like a lot of work for one measly coin. Which, yeah, you could do, her speed's higher. She's 5 points higher in speed. Really, probably the best reason to kill him is just the rogues offer hikes. It's really weird, I guess they pulled it probably from the previous Fire Emblem games, but thieves get a whole lot of experience when you kill them. Which used to be because they were such a menace, because they do stuff like that. But they're so weak in this game that... because the knives don't do any damage or anything like that. Most of the time they don't have pass for even a default ability. Like, yeah, he gave pretty good experience for killing him there. I don't know why. Well, I know because he wanted to attack him, but he should have been smarter about that. Oh well. We might actually keep the poison off for, like, a turn here. That'd be nice. Yeah, I think that was the only reason that soldier did what he did. I think it was just to try to get Mordecai to a weaker position in terms of health. Yeah. That's exactly what he did. Yep, which means I'm gonna have to move these guys to keep them out of there. Alright. Might as well just get everybody in one spot, I guess. I was about to say, sure, there's got to be more guys in here. Maybe I'm just so used to easy mode where they just stand there and do nothing. Yeah, so there's going to be two dudes here, and then this will be the arrive spot, and the boss will be standing on top of it. think we've seen all the enemies, aside from the ones in the corner here. Steel blade. This one probably has an axe. Yep, sure enough. I feel like it's almost a waste to use these weapons. I might just try to take my time and just kill them with Braum just for that reason alone. I know Nephine's not used until the end game of Chapter 2 after this stage, because Chapter 2, Part 2, for whatever reason, is like insanely short. It's only 5 chapters long. You have the prologue, the end game, and then 3 chapters in between, and that's it. Whereas Part 1 was 10 parts, Part 3 is like 15 or 16, and Part 4 is also 10. Alright, so now that's where the tough part's going to come in, is to deal with this mage up here. I gotta think about how I want to do this. I think I'm going to wait a turn, but yeah, here he is. Emblem in a secret book, which you can steal from him if you've got Heather. Usually Heather can't survive an attack, so you'll steal right here, and then rescue somebody with somebody that's here, usually Nephine with a ranged weapon. And then after that, just use somebody else like Braum to take her and drop her somewhere else. The key is going to be killing this guy without this guy getting in the way. So then I'm going to use battle save and just smash this guy twice with Braum and Mordecai and see if I can just get him that way. I disarmed him, that's something. But yeah, I can't do damage to this guy squat. Not a single thing. Can't do squat to him. Disarm him again, that'll teach him. Alright, if Nephine can't kill this guy with the Great Lance, then I'm gonna have to, yeah. Just gonna have to do it at a range. Somebody's gonna have to hit this guy head on. 19 to 35, that'll knock him down to 16. That'll knock him down to 10. I'm better off going there. Yeah, that'll work. Provided you don't miss. That'll work. This way. And there we go. That's that stage down. So now be prepared to see a lot of coin flips in chat, because I think we have 6 characters for this one, and they're all new. Watch me get nothing here. It's gonna be great. Really, even if you have all the characters, this one's still kind of tough. Chapter 3, Geoffrey's Charge, which is a nice way of saying this is the chapter that tries to trick you by making you put all of your good weapons on this stage, and then when you get to the end game, you realize that was a bad idea. So, let's get started. The Almighty Brave Lance. And again, like with the Brave Sword from Part 1, you gotta be careful with those things. Okay, I say before we start anywhere, we figure out who we're using. That'll kind of dictate what we do and don't do here. We're landing heads, alright. It should be noted, it probably won't happen, but it should be noted that if I get heads on all 6 characters, that Geoffrey will become the default usable character. And he'll be the only one if that does happen. Which it clearly didn't, so Kieran will show up. So that's good. Kieran's actually a pretty good unit. He's not great, but he's good. He's probably, Click Me Fish is now following you. That rocks. It does rock. Thank you for the follow, Click Me Fish. Hope you're enjoying the stream of me having very bad luck with the coin flip. But yeah, he's probably not one of the better axe users in this. Let me try that again. He's probably not one of the better axe users in this game, but that doesn't mean he's bad, because like most of the axe users are pretty good here. Thank you so much for the follow, though. I really do appreciate it. Oh no, I can't use Astrid. What a shame. Note the obvious sarcasm there. Astrid, Ballgood, and Path of Radiance. In this game, horrible unit. Like, bottom 5. She's bad. No Maklov. Or as we used to call him, Pinky, because he had pink hair. Oh no, wait, we already have Marcy on here, so I guess we don't have to do a coin flip for her. And Danvid. The almighty, I think he starts as Halberdier. Yeah, Halberdier. So we've got half the team to work with, basically. Kieran, Maklov. Kieran, Marcy, and Danvid. Alright. I would have preferred to swap Danvid for Geoffrey, but you know what? We'll make do. That's pretty much the motto of the coin flip idea, is we'll make do. Plus, I've used all these characters before, so I kind of know what to, like, what works well, what doesn't work well, what to look out for, that kind of thing. Alright, so I'm just going to equip everybody with what I can right now. Okay, so Kieran didn't have anything, and these two are Lance users, so they're going to have something here. That's actually not a horrible idea, is to try to Brave Lance it with actually, the more I think about that, the more that seems like a bad idea. Yeah, I'm going to take that. No, don't give it to him. Alright. So here's the thing about putting all the items here into storage. Like, I'm gonna let Kieran keep what he's got. The steel poleaxe isn't the best in the world. It's slightly more damage than the silver axe, but its accuracy is crap. At least in comparison, because the accuracy is 60 as opposed to 70. Like, even the hand axe has better accuracy. I need to get him a ranged weapon. I'm actually going to grab 2. So here's the thing about why I put all that stuff into storage, like the Brave Lance, the Kill It, like all this stuff. A lot of it's like, oh, that seems like it would be really good to have for this stage. Why would you put it in storage? It is a good thing to have for the stage. The problem is, directly after this stage, you're going to get pushed straight into the end game, and none of these characters are going to be at the start of your at the start of your convoy. You'll get Marcy at the start of turn 1, but you're going to be left with characters defending the capital of Crimea, and it's not going to be any of these characters. It's going to be, like, Alencia, Braum, Nephany, Har, Heather, like, it's going to be a completely different set of units, and they're not going to be able to hold out as well, and the stuff you can buy will not be as good. So, Like, if you see anything that's super good here, you might want to consider saving it. Both the killer weapons, the axe and the lance, I would save both of those for Braum and Nephany. I would save the hammer because there's a lot of knight units for Braum, or for Har, if you were using Har. The bow, you can just give the bows to Astrid if you really want to use her. The Killing Edge, if you're going to use a sword character, you can go ahead and keep that on Makalov because you don't have any sword units for the other set. But just be really careful with your axes and lances in particular of what you do and don't want to bring into this stage, because otherwise it might end poorly. Okay, we're all good on Vulnerary, so that's good. They're not gonna have any supports. I don't think there's anything in particular I really want to sell here. Well, I guess I could sell these. Yeah, keep the Spectre card. Something tells me to hang on to it. I don't know why, but someone's telling me to keep it. Let me take one more look here. I think I need to buy one more javelin and one more axe for him. Just because there's a lot of units here. Like, a lot. Because they give you a bunch of ally units, but I don't like using them because they're experience sponges, meaning they'll take it away from you. And I don't want them to take away the experience, I want those 3 units to get them. Which I'd recommend even if you're playing on easy with a full team of 6, like, don't let the allies do anything. Command them to the corner and get all the experience for yourself. Particularly if you plan on actually defeating the boss of the endgame, because there's 2 ways to win that fight. Is either defeating the boss or surviving 15 turns. And if you plan on defeating the boss, you're probably going to want to get Geoffrey to Silver Knight, because he's one of, like, 3 characters that you kind of need to be able to defeat the boss. So since I can choose my units, I'm going to take these 2 out of the equation. Yeah, I think we'll just bunch up on the right from the start and just try to do it that way. But yeah, there are a lot of units on this stage. I was not joking. And reinforcements will appear in this section multiple times, so that was why I brought in a bunch of extra weapons. Okay. Just get as many allies into the corner here as we can. If they get killed, they get killed. And I don't expect all of them to actually get over there, which is fine. It'll take a turn or 2 for them to get adjusted to where I need them to go. Which, all things considered, that actually turned out pretty good. Point in strength, please! That'll do it. That'll do it nicely. A lot of this first row of enemies are going to be like weak class 1 units that you'll probably mow down in 1 round. They aren't going to put up much. The armored guys might survive 1 round, but even then they're going to take a pretty bad beating in 1 hit. Alright, there we go. I did say I was going to mention this yesterday, at least on my Discord I mentioned it. But I figured I'd go and mention again. Also, if that link, if you do want to join the Discord, if that link does not work, the one at the bottom of my page should. Which it looks like it's the same one, so it should be fine. But if it doesn't, then let me know and I'll just send a new one. But I was actually planning on streaming this yesterday, and ended up not being able to. I do apologize, but for the reason for that was family related. I've got an uncle that lives like about an hour from my town, and he had fallen like a couple weeks ago, and for whatever reason the hospital like screwed up multiple times in getting him checked in, where they like needed some identification they didn't tell him about, or they had to perform a procedure and he couldn't have any food for 24 hours beforehand and they did not tell him. And it wasn't like he actually forgot, like other people were there, and they didn't tell them either, so it wasn't him just going senile and forgetting anything. It was literally just they did not tell him that at all. But they finally got him admitted to be able to do kind of a more intensive thing to figure out what was going on. But it turns out he had cracked a vertebra near the top of his spinal column. And it was a bit weird because it's a vertebra that if it breaks, you're not supposed to, how do I put this politely, survive. You're supposed to die if that happens, and he somehow did not. Which, you know, like, he's pretty tough, so honestly I wouldn't be that shocked that he didn't. But, you know, still, the average human body's not supposed to survive that. But the short version of the story is, in order to do the surgery, they moved him to our town because our town's larger and, you know, has better hospitals and people that are more experienced in doing that kind of thing. And obviously the recovery rate for that for him is going to be a lot longer because, well, he's 91, so that was why we didn't have any stream yesterday of this. The reason we had it a little bit late today was because I have not been eating well, namely, not like I've been eating junk food, like I've not been eating at all lately, because we've been like really scrounging on food. My folks have been really bad about going shopping lately, and because of how my schedule is with work, I don't get paid for a while. And on top of that, whenever I start student teaching in the spring, I have to work from 8:30 to 4:30, and I don't get paid for that at all. In fact, I have to pay not only for, you know, the tuition and all that, but also for services like, you know, being able to use the copy or the laminator or whatever. So I have to pay on top of that. So I don't really have money for groceries right now. And it got to the point where I was going to, like, stream at about, I think I decided on, like, 5 initially and pushed it back to 6 or 6:30. Might have just been 6:05. Either way, it got pushed back because thought I'd be alright with not eating, and then about like an hour beforehand my stomach just started feeling really, really acidic. And I was like, oh, that's probably not good. Maybe I should just get up and like walk around a little bit or like take a shower because I haven't done that today. And when I stood up, I kind of felt woozy, and then I just, for about 20 seconds, just completely blacked out on my feet. Like, not even like stared off into space, like everything went black. I did not fall over or anything like that, but like just body just shut down completely there from just, I guess, just lack of any nutrition whatsoever. So at that point I was like, you know, I should probably eat before I stream. That seems like a good idea. So that was why we started a bit late today. Because trust me, if I could have paid for groceries I would have, but we're unfortunately in a scenario where my folks pay for it, and they didn't do a very good job of selecting good healthy food last time, which is a nice way of saying that our refrigerator is got 2 full shelves that have nothing but ice cream in them, and I'm usually not big on ice cream anyway, and certainly can't eat it in high amounts either. And so that was pretty much what our food budget went to, was way too much ice cream. And so we ran out of like bread, ran out of water, ran out of milk. You know, kind of the big essential important stuff. So it was a bit of a joyful time, if nothing else. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of a gamble here. Provided I can get up to the spot I'm trying to. Yeah, I can. Alright. I'm just going to cut off that wall and just see if I can hold them off. I know there's some axe guys behind me, and I'm sure they'll come up from behind me and try to attack, but we'll see what happens. But my idea is I'm going to just try to hold this line until most, if not all of them, are gone. And yeah, that was why I battle saved. I figured I might have to flip the positions of Kieran and Marcia. I guess he went for him for the weapon triangle? I feel like he should have tried to go for Marcia, because he could have killed her right there, but alright. As long as you're happy with your decision, I guess. That was probably double S, right? Nope, just single. Single, single, A, almost at S. I can't tell if they're just trying to attack all at once or what they're doing here. They're not moving as far as they could be able to. Try moving a little bit forward here, not much though. Alright. I don't think anybody's going to come from the right path and take that area on the bottom where the bushes are. I think they're all going to go across the top if they have the option. Yeah, I'm going to have to get that mage out for sure. I'm really not sure what the enemy unit strategy is here. It's really weird. We'll have to do that for a round and just keep Marcy alive in the back here. Though again, I'm not 100% sure that what they're going to do. I'm not sure if they're sure they know what they're going to do either. Oh, they're just going to pass around the vulnerary like it's a joint, huh? Is that what they're going to do? Yo, it's only got 8 uses. It's not going to last as long as you think between like 9 of you. I just don't get what that set of the guys on the left is. I would try to go down here and flank them and try to get them from behind, but I guess not. Alright. I'm just more curious about what the enemy's, like, trying to do here. It's really weird. I've never seen them do this before. I mean, I guess the joke of the stage is, if you actually read the dialogue that Kieran mentions, is, like, the knights don't really seem to know what they're doing. Because he mentioned something like, look at them flopping around on their horses like a bunch of ragdolls instead of, you know, being in a tight formation. So that could be it. I think that also gets mentioned in part 3, is, for one section, is like, yeah, they were really well equipped, but their commanders were horrible and they were just all over the place, which is what they're like in that level. So I can lure a couple of them over here, I guess? Maybe? Like, they're doing a little bit of damage, but not enough to... It's just a shame they give crap for... If they gave good experience, you could get, like, everybody class change here if you just wanted to wait. But since these are all, like, tier 1 units that you're fighting... Oh, most of them are tier 1 units that you're fighting. They're not going to give you very good experience. Yeah, like, he gave 4 experience for killing him. 3. 4. Yeah, it's not very good experience. Not surprising, but still. Yeah, I guess Marcy is the only one that gets, like, any decent level ups from him, which is only 10 experience. Kieran probably doesn't get much from them. No, he gets 10. Maybe those are just better units, I don't know. It could be those were, like, some of the ones that were closer towards the back. Like, the boss is still a class 2 unit, he's a sword master. With a Woe Dao. Which is one of those weird, like, supposed to play like a killing edge weapon, but doesn't quite do it. Where it has, like, because killing edge is supposed to have, like, not very high damage, but really good critical rate. And that one has, like, medium damage with a medium critical rate, so it tries to pull the jack of all trades, but since it doesn't commit to either side, it's not really good for either thing. So we can get some of these guys over here to lure them. Because I don't want to go up into this area yet because of the ballistas. See, when I do go up there, I'm just gonna, you know, lure them into wasting all their ammo and then going back, healing, and then properly going after them. Oh, he was using a bow. He actually had a lot of health for a bow knight, but whatever. He's probably just gonna run off and heal anyway. I thought he had an axe. Oh no, he's gonna go over to that heal hedge. Alright, well, you probably would have been better off running, you know, back towards your group, but who am I to judge? Alright, so how many units do we have left? 18? I guess there's still a fair few of them. This area kind of gets, or this map kind of gets broken into thirds in terms of, like, killing all the units. Like, you have this set down here that you start with that's super easy to get rid of, and then this middle section where a lot of them spawn, but they're still not very tough, and then the actual meat and potatoes of it. Alright, let's see if we can start luring the ballista out here. Though I might try to lure him first. We'll see how that goes. You gonna come over here? Well, that guy is. You got a steel blade! Whoop-de-doo! There's nobody that can use it here. So we'll get that. We'll start getting that ballista to fire on me next turn. For now, let's get rid of this guy with the crossbow. Maybe lure the other one over, depending. No, I'm too far away from it. Alright. That's fine. Yeah, let's just start with this one. See if I can get the other bowgun out here. Normally the bowguns aren't too bad by themselves, but when coupled with like the ballista or another unit, they can be kind of a pain. Because usually they tend to hit. The first guy didn't, probably because I was on a hedge. So I had a little bit of cover against me, or for me, but normally they'll hit. It's good that they're gone, though. Both of them are gone. I'll just leave him on the heel edge for now. Could try to run up the side. I'm better battle save before I attempt that. Simply put, because, yeah, one of these guys might have a longbow. Like that guy. The good news is if you can get up there, then they can't do anything with the ballista to you. It's not like the ballista of old where they can just turn it around and fire it any direction they want. And usually it's pretty easy to take out the right side, so... And a speed wing, whoop-de-doo. So by doing that I can start knocking out these guys next round, making it a little bit easier to get through. I guess they can turn... Well, that guy can. I don't think the one in the front can here. I could have sworn once you got behind the range they couldn't hit you, though. At least in this game they couldn't. if I can convince him to hop over here and try to attack me again. Yeah, that really doesn't seem like you should be able to do that. But okay, if you say so. It'll get him to use it up, because you have to break down a door to get through that side, so... And the door's got a pretty good health bar, if I remember correctly. It's either 40 or even 60, maybe. I know the big one has 60. 60... 40, yeah. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch to hand axe and just heal this round. 3 remaining. Yes, by the time I get off this thing, they're not going to have any ammo left on that ballista. Oh, he's got a longbow, that's why it didn't work. Okay, I was wondering why he didn't take any damage that round. Alright, I understand now. Alright, he's fully healed. 2 shots left. Oh, he can't go behind. He just happened to be able to get me from that angle. Okay, that's kind of dumb. Whatever. Let him fire his last 2 shots, and then we'll start moving forward. I guess Dammit or Marcio will probably be the one of the two to take out the boss, because I don't want the weapon triangle working against me. And accuracy is going to be bad enough as it is on this guy. Could have sworn more enemies spawned in on the left, like that second area. Alright, Bliss is dead. Yep. Alright, boys, hit me with your best shot. Obviously, I'm not going to send Marcy up there with 2 archers. No thanks. Oh, hey. There's a couple reinforced. Not that they can really do anything. I figured they'd put some archers to try to stick them back on the ballistas, but I guess not. Here, this will give some Marcia something to do. Keep her busy. Keep her off the streets. I'm gonna battle save before going in here, because I know sometimes you can get bad luck between this guy and the archers can go after you. That'll work though. Insane how much damage they do just for an archer. Oh, I guess those guys are snipers. No, he's an archer. I guess just some of them are archers. They look almost identical. It might just be the color for their uniforms, the grayish white color. It's supposed to be white. Crimea's colors are white and gold, I think, but they look more silver than they do white here. Daeans are red and black. Benyans are... Or no, I guess Daean just has black for their armor color, because Benyan has red. Can you attack with range from here? No, I didn't think so. Oh well. Stab it again. Not one step backward. Be strong. Dude, who are you talking to? Everybody else in your army's dead. Or, yeah, in your rebel army. Tashoria. What is the crit on a Wodao? It's probably not that good. 20? Yeah. I think that does have a lower might than killing weapons. Maybe it's higher, but it can't be that much higher. Oh well. Oh, it moves. Okay. Well, we have to hold out. Here, have a javelin. It's on the house. See if we can get a critical animation. Surely between one of the two of these units we can have a critical animation. This is also why battle saved, because I know my luck, he'll probably get another crit next round. Oh no, he's just gonna run away. 7 health. I think throwing this at him would kill him. Yep. Though I probably should let Marcy get the experience, so we'll go ahead and do this. Based on just how Marcy has to act in the final chapter of this thing, it's better off that she gets the experience in the level. Because you'll use her from turn 1, Dead Van you won't use till like turn 11, I think, or something like that. Alright, now since victory is seized, I am forced to move Geoffrey here until he can get to the point. And there we go.
Having anticipated Queen Alicia's attack, the majority of Dukalubek's forces left Felleray. The troops stationed at Castle Felleray were merely the bait with which to lure Joffrey and his troops away from Pelennor.
And sure enough, they fell for it.
Ludwig subjected
Yep, she gets yoinked. Yeah, Lucy will not be joining your party in the end game, which is a shame because like she's not a great sword master, but man, would she really help on this stage. Alright, we got a meaty. Yeah, we need to roll for Khalil as well. See if we have her available. Alright, first and foremost, that goes away. So yeah, going from Slim Sword, which has like really bad attack, to a meaty. The Royal Blade of House Crimea can be used only by royal family or only by family members and strikes twice per turn. So twice per turn, 15 power and cannot break versus... 2 power, and it will break after 35 uses. And a crit rate of 5 as opposed to 0, whoop-de-doo. I guess that's one of the reasons for using the Slim... Yeah, slightly improved chance. Really, the only reason to use the Slim Sword is to try to get a double attack, but it's not worth the effort. Like, the difference between Slim and Iron, which is the next worst one, is it's 3 times as strong. So, like, you're... Even if you wanted the double attack, you'd still be better off with the Iron. Particularly on swords where people have good accuracy anyway, you can't even argue it's the accuracy that's the issue either. Alright, so it's Khalil's the one I need to roll for, the Fire Sage. This will be the last one I roll for the night. Alright, can't use her. Alright, so that being said, let's see what we have here. So I've got Alencia, Marcy will show up. Alencia, Marcia, Braum, Nephne, and Mordecai to defend. I've got 5 people to defend the castle of Endgame 1, or of Endgame 2. Yikes. Alright, she's pretty much good. I didn't want to take 2 of them, I just wanted to take that. Oh, he can use swords? Really? Does he start with the ability to use swords? Huh. Alright, I don't know why you would, but I guess you could if you really wanted to. He does fine with axes, though. Alright, Steel Lance, Brave Lance, Killer Lance, Javelin, Short Spear. I should probably buy a Steel Great Lance for her as well. Those elixirs might be good for, like, endgame 3 or 4, maybe. Don't really need anything here, though. I guess you could buy the killer weapons if you didn't already, or you could buy a second set of them. If you're using more characters, that might be an issue. If you wanted, like, 2 axes and you wanted one for Braum and for Har, or for Marcia. Actually, that's what I might do. No, not sell. I'm gonna give it to Alencia, and then Alencia can trade it to Marcia later. Don't really need any of these. I'll keep the Wind Edge, though, and equip that on Alencia. Because the meaty doesn't have range, so on the off chance I want to use range, then I can. The odds of that are not very high, but there's always a chance. Oh, and that, yeah, I need to take that too. On the off chance I need him to fire a ranged attack, and he can't, that's something he can use. It's not going to be good, mind you, but it's something. Yeah, special item that lets non-magic users launch a magical attack. It's only at a power of 5, but it's got 2 range, and he can't use ranged attacks normally, so it's something. Aside from buying her a Steel Great Lance, I think that's all I'm going to do for weapons. I guess the Steel Great Lance might also try to fool you into thinking that Nephene's slow starting out. She's really not, it's just she uses a very heavy weapon. Yeah, its weight limits consecutive strikes, because its weight is 18. If she was using a normal Steel Lance, it'd be down by 5. So it makes you think that she's a lot slower than she actually is in terms of speed. Not really, she's pretty strong all around. Okay, word experience. No, I don't think it's worth it. I might as well. No reason not to. And the other 2 that I'm using I can't do any sports for. As much as I don't want to, I do think we're gonna actually end it off here. I might try to come back to this like tomorrow afternoon, but I do think I want to end it off here because I'm getting kind of tired because I've been up for most of the day. Even though I'm kind of surprised that we got this far, I do think the end game is going to take a while because even on easy, playing with all the characters, this stage can actually be pretty dang rough. So I think I'm going to wait on this one. And we'll come back to this one either tomorrow or maybe Sunday. But don't quote me on that. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow and get at least Chapter 2 done. Because I start back university on the 14th, and trust me, I'm not looking forward to that at all. But I do want to at least try to get halfway through this and get Chapter 2 done, or Part 2 done before then. So, with that being said, let us find ourselves a raid target. I doubt anybody else is playing Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, but we can find out and see if they're, if anybody is. I don't know, there's one person doing it. Alright, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys, if nothing else, I'll see you guys for Star Fox Adventures Blind by my friend Icarus Sunday at it says 6:30 on the schedule. It'll probably be earlier than that. I would say like 5 or 5:30 because I want to make sure I get a full night's sleep. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Later!